Okay, now we will go to the background of each country first. The first one is Malaysia. Starting in 1967, Malaysia changed the status of English from official language to the second language. The English itself was brought by the colonialization of the Great Britain in the past to the country. So yeah, they try to remove the status of English from official language into the second language in 1967. Due to the close historical relationship with the Great Britain and also English, the people of Malaysia basically have one of the best proficiency level among Southeast Asian countries. So the population are very good at English compared to other countries in the Southeast Asia. Due to this proficiency level of English, due to this very good, excellent proficiency level, there is an occurrence of what's called as bahasa rojak or silent language, which is a language that mix various linguistic elements of various languages into ones, and usually the final result is grammatically incorrect in any of those languages. And this occurrence of bahasa rojak sparks negative sentiment from the government and also most of the people itself, because the bahasa rojak is seen as an impure form of language. That's why the Kuala Lumpur City Hall and Petaling Jaya Municipal Council make a regulations that advertisement shall use the national language of Malaysia either by itself or in combination with other languages, following the correct grammatical rules. So basically, they try to encourage the use of Malaysian language as the national language, and also the use itself has to be grammatically correct. So it cannot be mixed with other languages using, like incorrect grammatical rules and so on. The next one is the Philippines. Yeah, the Philippines regarded English as its official language along with Filipino or Tagalog, and both languages are used in various sectors, governmental, educational, and commercial. The citizens also have very good proficiency level of English, and they are only one rank behind Singapore. Due to this proficiency level, the code switching between English and Filipino languages among citizens is very common. It is not rare, and it occurs not only in daily conversation but also in advertisement. However, the enforcement of certain language use or especially the national language used, for example, in the advertisement in the Philippines is less apparent than compared to the one in Malaysia. So basically, there is no like specific rules about what language or how to use the language in advertisement in the Philippines. The next one, we'll move to expanding circle countries. The first one is Indonesia. In this country, English is the most popular foreign language learned in the educational levels. The languages that are being learned in this country, basically it consists of the local language, like for example Japanese, Balinese, and so on, and also the national language. And the last one is the foreign language. According to the EF English Proficiency Index in 2020, Indonesia is ranks 15 out of 24 countries in Asia. So that is not a good, not a really good proficiency level actually. And according to Indonesia's law number 24 of 2009, Article 25, Indonesian language should be used in economic transactions and documentation. So that is allowed to encourage the use of Indonesian language in economic sectors. Research by Budi Arsa, however, shows that most buildings in Legian Street, Kuta, Bali, which is our focus of research here, contain international language symbols which occurrences outnumber the local ones. So there are more international language symbols, it can be English and so on, compared to the local ones. The last one is expanding circle countries, Thailand. English was brought to Thailand from the modernization campaign by King Rama IV, and it was not from colonialization, unlike other countries in Southeast Asia. And according to the EF, English Proficiency Index, Thailand was only in the 20th place out of 24 countries. So the proficiency level is not that different from Indonesia. The locals of Thailand mostly use English to non-native English speakers rather than the native speakers. So a wide variety of Englishes can be observed in Thailand. And of course, code switching occurs in various entertainment and also sectors, such as from Thai songs and then television games, talk shows, radio programs, academic lectures, and so on. All right, now we go to the data collection and analysis.